What if beauty didn't bloom from flowers, but from what once broke? Shattered plates, scraps of glass, forgotten pieces. Today, we turn them into meaning, fences, borders, and quiet corners that hold memory instead of waste. Welcome to VERDO Studio, where lost things find purpose again. This video, DIY rustic garden borders and fence decor using old items. Timestamps are there. Skip around. Ask anything. I'm listening. All visuals are for inspiration only. Crafted with care, not instruction. Take what fits. Shape it your way. Make it yours. I might just be a name on your screen, but behind this video is a family, a heartbeat, and a hope. Every view helps. Every subscribe matters. This isn't content. It's a piece of who we are. Thanks for seeing it. In a quiet stretch of backyard where morning light gently lands on lavender blooms, something unexpected catches the eye, not in boldness, but in quiet, glinting grace. Here, the edge of the garden doesn't end in wood or steel. It shimmers in fragments of history. Once, these were plates passed from hand to hand, perhaps across long family tables, each with its own story. Now, broken and reborn, they rise again as part of the soil's rhythm, set into stone borders that hold back mulch and cradle roots. Bits of blue floral china sit beside sunny yellows and gentle whites, locked together like puzzle pieces that never really belonged, yet now make perfect sense. The first curve of the bed offers a calm geometry, guiding your eye along the lavender's reach. The broken pieces, though jagged in memory, have been softened and set with intention. Some shimmer like sunlit water, others rest matte, their delicate patterns barely visible until you lean close. And then a brighter arc, mosaic dancing in sunlight, wrapping a bed of marigolds. The blooms rise bold and orange, mirrored in glints of ceramic. This border doesn't just mark space, it celebrates it. Every piece was once unwanted. Now they belong at the garden's heart. Something even more personal emerges, a mosaic wall that holds not just plate fragments, but full saucers, painted rims, and broken handles. Tiny teacups rest gently on the ledge, planted with thyme and wild basil. They look like they're waiting for stories, not sips. And in a way, they are, because this is more than DIY. It's devotion in disguise. It's healing in the form of pattern and earth. It's a lesson quietly whispered by the garden itself, that broken things can still frame beauty and sometimes even help it bloom. Some mornings feel like a cathedral, quiet, golden, and alive with color. In this tiny patio, light doesn't just land, it dances. It moves through panels of broken glass like stained glass windows reborn, creating a soft kaleidoscope on the floor beneath your feet. The fence isn't a wall here. It's a canvas. Set within reclaimed wooden frames, the glass pieces, ruby red, ocean blue, citrus yellow, fit together like light catchers from a dream. Some are curved like old bottlenecks, others square like window panes long retired. They're imperfect, uneven, and all the more beautiful for it. Stand still and watch how the sun plays through them. Every hour, the light changes, and with it, the mood of the space. Morning is rich and hopeful. Midday bursts with brilliance. By late afternoon, the patio glows with warmth as the fence itself remembers joy. In a corner, a quieter scene unfolds. Old windows, white frames chipped and honest, have been transformed into glass mosaics. Each pane tells a different story, broken but carefully fitted back together. There's no color here, only reflection. And yet, the herbs below, basil, rosemary, mint, seem to lean into that silence, as if grounded by its grace. Then, the surprise, a tiny frame between two posts. Inside it, broken glass glitters in green and sapphire, encased in resin. Together, they rise like a wave, as if the fence now holds the sea. It's small, but in that sliver of art, a whole sky is reflected. This isn't just upcycling, it's uplift. Each shard of discarded glass finds new purpose, not hidden away, but lifted up where it can catch light again. And in doing so, it transforms the entire space. A simple patio becomes a story of rebirth, one panel at a time. Sometimes, color comes from the earth. Other times, we press it gently into the walls that cradle it. Along the edge of this raised flower bed, broken tiles find new life. Not perfect, but purposeful. Each shard laid by hand, held in place with mortar and care. Terracotta, navy blue, soft cream, earth tones that echo the soil within. They form no predictable pattern, and yet there's rhythm, like poetry written in fragments. Above the border, rosemary grows dense and green. Zinnias stand tall, their bold pink and yellow petals almost mirroring the vibrancy below. You kneel to pull a weed, and the warmth of the sun hits your back, and the tile flashes up at you, as if to say, "This is home now." In another corner, the geometry tightens. Squares and triangles, carefully cut, transform a blocky bed into something sculptural. Basil and tomatoes spill from the soil, their scent rich in the midday sun. There's a sense of order here, a subtle pride in each line, but the human hand remains visible, never too polished, always real. And then, like a painting blooming from the ground, a round bed bursts with calendula and wild marigold. Its border tells a story of travel, memory, and delight. Each tile faces a unique design, floral, folk, geometric, whimsical. A mosaic quilt that wraps the garden in personality. At golden hour, it glows. You don't need new materials to make something beautiful. You need vision, patience, and a willingness to see possibility in the broken. Because in this garden, even the leftovers bloom. Every step becomes a celebration. Here, along a narrow path hugged by blooms, glass once discarded has found purpose underfoot. Each shard is set with care into poured concrete. Greens like deep forest moss, blues like pond water kissed by sky. As the light hits, the walkway comes alive, like a trail of gemstones winding through a garden. You don't rush down this path. You wander. You pause to notice how the fractured shapes catch sun between pink phlox and hydrangea. You run your hand gently along the edge, and for a second, you remember the clink of a bottle, the gleam of a broken mirror. It's not trash. It's transformation. At twilight, another path glows gently between rows of solar lights. Each stepping stone tells its own story. Pieces of mirror, bottle glass, and smooth cabochon sparkle beneath fading light. The garden hums in stillness, but the walkway sings softly with reflection. And just beyond, in the quiet curve of a shaded corner, the glass speaks louder. Here, mosaics swirl in mandalas, each piece of tile in nature's rhythm. Tiny rectangles of mirroring green shimmer beside river stones, spiraling out from a glowing amber center. A wooden bench waits nearby, cradled in fern and moss. It's a place made for deep breaths. Paths like these don't just guide, they invite. They say, look closer. What was broken can still carry you forward. There's something sacred about light filtered through color. It doesn't just brighten a space. It softens it, holds it, and turns the everyday into something reverent. Along the quiet patio wall, between the creeping ivy and a weathered garden chair, stands a divider, more artwork than barrier. Its wooden frame holds a tree, not real, but rendered in shards of amber and emerald. The leaves shimmer green with the day's last light, while the sun set behind a glassy orange sky. It feels less like a panel and more like a moment, one you want to step into. A few feet away, laughter rises from raised beds. Behind blooming nasturtiums, two panels stand tall, bursting with circles, chunks, and splinters of colored glass set in resin. Blue, lime, tangerine, each piece vibrant, like candy waiting to be unwrapped. In the golden hour, they glow as if lit from within. Children pass by, their shadows rippling in color. Privacy, yes, but joyful privacy. Further down, an older divider tells a quieter tale, made from salvaged window frames. Its panes, once plain, now host floating clusters of broken glass mosaics. Some look floral, others abstract, but all glimmer in rain or shine. Terracotta pots of geranium and sweet alyssum line the base, as if anchoring the divider in softness. It's not about hiding. It's about creating space with meaning. These dividers don't push away the world. They invite in a gentler version of it. Light still passes. So does warmth. But the moment you see them, you know, someone saw art where others saw trash. And now, you do too. Not every story begins in a book. Some start on walls, chipped, weathered, and made of memories. Here, in the late afternoon light, a garden speaks softly through broken porcelain and forgotten china. A textured wall now blooms year-round. Plates of every shape and origin cling gently to its surface. Some whole, others fragmented. but each holding beauty. Blue florals beside red scrolls, a vintage tea saucer cracked in half, a clay star smiling between them. There's no symmetry here, only joy, like laughter between plants. Beneath it, basil and thyme lean toward the sun, as if listening to a story they already know. Nearby, a watering can rests, silent witness to many early mornings and evening sighs. Around the corner, the welcome is louder but just as sincere. On the wooden face of a garden shed, more ceramic plates gather. They frame a single word, hand-painted in deep navy. Welcome, not just to a place, but to a feeling. A place where imperfections don't need to be hidden. They become part of the message. And then, on the brick wall, the crescendo, a circular mandala, crafted entirely of broken dishware. Delft blues, honey yellows, delicate white, and cobalt curves, all arranged with care, like petals in a porcelain flower. It doesn't shout, it hums. This isn't clutter. It's collage, a mosaic of forgotten, reshaped into greeting and grace. Markers not just for plants, but for presence, for remembering that beauty can sprout from what others discard. You walk away feeling lighter, and maybe next time something breaks, you'll save it. There's a kind of magic in sound you don't expect. A whisper in the breeze, a clink that calls the past. And here in this garden, wind chimes made of broken glass bring music to the green. Just above the herbs, a series of mirrored shards dangle from a wooden arch. They shimmer and catch the sunlight, slicing it into silver and sending it dancing across rosemary and sage. The sound they make? Delicate, like laughter that barely escapes the lips. In a flower bed nearby, square-cut mirror tiles edge a border, but above them, strings of glass beads and fragments hang from a repurposed rake head. They tinkle softly each time the wind stirs the pansies. Yellow, violet, and white bloom beside silver glints, as if the flowers themselves had voices. At the garden's heart, near a marigold box, larger chimes swing gently from a cedar post. Irregular shapes, clear, smoky, amber-tinted, clink against spoons and old metal keys. The sound isn't loud, it's lived in, like the quiet sigh of a well-worn home. You pause, you close your eyes. Each sound, a note from the past, each piece of glass of memory retuned into music. And though none of it matches, somehow it all harmonizes. Because sometimes when things break, they make better songs. Every step tells a story, especially when the ground beneath your feet is stitched with memories. A garden path winds quietly beneath blooming trees. The stones are worn, but today, something new glimmers beneath fallen petals. Dozens of vintage plates and cup fragments are embedded among the cobbles, not polished, not perfect, but radiant in the sunset glow. You tread gently, as if walking through someone's afternoon tea, frozen in time. Further along, another walkway unfolds, a mosaic of texture and hue. Between neat gray pavers, ceramic tiles bloom like hidden flowers. blue florals, soft greens, creams with imprints like lace. Tiny patches of moss stitch the gaps, softening every edge. It doesn't feel designed, it feels discovered. The final stretch is brighter, under rows of terracotta pots filled with herbs and lavender. A sunlit path sparkles. Circular mosaics of broken glass and ceramic light up each concrete stepping stone. Warm tones, burnt orange sea blue, dusky rose, nestle into patterns that feel both modern and ancient. There's geometry here, but also soul. And when night falls, tiny solar lights, nestled in upcycled jars, flicker among the edges, each one filled with shards that catch the moonlight, like fireflies caught in glass. This isn't just a path. It's a trail of transformation, proof that even the broken pieces can lead us somewhere beautiful. At the edge of the fence, where flowers meet the wood, the sunlight glistens in fragments. And suddenly, what used to be just a barrier becomes a canvas. Green, amber, and sapphire glass shards stretch across a cedar panel, forming what looks like wings, or perhaps a leafy burst caught mid-dance. The light flickers through each shard, falling like stained glass rain over marigolds below. It doesn't block the world, it celebrates it. A few steps away, another section glows quietly. Shattered tempered glass, embedded between slats, turns a back fence into a frosted mural. It's cracked, yes, but not in chaos. The pattern is organic, like vines of frozen lightning. As evening nears, the sun pierces through and ignites it like stained ice. Then there's a third, the most joyful of them all. Golden circles, spiraling patterns, soft green triangles, all shaped from discarded bottles and bowls, breathe new life into an otherwise weathered wall. It's more than just color, it's motion. These aren't leftovers. They're stories set in sunlight. And when a breeze moves through the flowers below, the light dances with them. Every glimmer from a fence becomes part of the garden's soul. Because here, even broken glass has purpose. Even a fence can smile. In the quiet corner of a courtyard, under the gentle glow of a lantern, a story is laid into stone. Here, a circle blooms, not of flowers, but of forgotten china. Blue florals, once delicate on porcelain, now shine resilient on earth. Each piece is imperfect, some cracked, others chipped, yet together they dance in symmetry. They echo old tea rituals, passed down hands, and laughter lost in time. Further out, sunlight washes over a spiral of indigo and white, planted between creeping time and sun-warmed bricks. This mandala speaks in geometry. The blues are deeper, the white's crisp. It feels oceanic, like staring into a ceramic tide pool, crafted by memory itself. And at the far end, where the walls meet at a sunlit corner, a mosaic flower unfurls. Pink petals outlined in green leaves, reflected in two halves, one rising vertically, the other grounded in the floor. It's not just decoration, it's intention, a moment captured in form, a celebration made permanent. In these circles, there is stillness, there is warmth, there is the comfort of knowing that even broken things could become the heart of a home. They don't sing with words, but when the wind passes, they whisper stories. Glass shards once destined for the bin now sway from a pergola. Soft amber, seafoam green, and clear slivers float in midair, strung by invisible threads. They catch the light like raindrops frozen mid-fall. The morning sun dances on every edge. This is no longer trash. It's light suspended. Further in the garden, longer icicle-like rods dangle from a black ring beneath a tree. Each one glints like moonlight, swaying with purpose. The sound is gentle, crystalline, like memories brushing each other. The tree, once silent, now hums. And finally, at dusk, the most dramatic of all, stained glass-like shards hanging in golden hour, lit by the day's last light. Ruby, chartreuse sapphire, colors that shimmer in motion. They clink softly, like the garden is exhaling. No wind chime here is perfect, but each is honest. And when the breeze finds them, they don't just chime. They heal, because even silence can be broken into beauty.